Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you, not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cult Classic Horror Show. My name is Tyan Draco, and we have a very special treat for you today. On the line, we have Tamara Glynn and Jake Zelch, both who are involved in reimagining of the film Savage Vengeance. Welcome, Jake and Tamara.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Thanks, Ty. It's great to be back, and I'm honored to share this interview with director, upcoming hot indie filmmaker Jake Zelch. This is awesome. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to begin with a little story here. Tamara Glynn was actually my first celebrity interview. For those listeners that don't know, so we're very happy to have her back. And we were also, Cult Classic Horror was very excited to have the opportunity to release an exclusive trailer for Savage Vengeance. Jake, can you tell us how you got involved in horror? I've looked at your film, your credits on IMDb, and that seems to be a main focus for you. So could you speak a little bit about that?
Well, as far as horror goes, I've just always, I grew up on Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Dark Side and Twilight Zone. And so kind of that zany horror comedy anthology type films,
Yes.
And I just wanted to do something like that. I wanted to bring something like that back. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like there's so many opportunities in horror that you wouldn't get with like a romance or like a drama. Like there's just so many things you can do with it. So I think that's why it's my main focus.
Gotcha. I think horror does say a lot about, a good horror says a lot about the society we live in. More so than maybe even dramas do, to some degree, because they definitely cast a light on things that people are afraid to talk about.
Right.
So, Tamara, how did you get involved with Jake? Could you tell us how that came about?
Yeah, actually, Jake hit me up on Facebook, and he asked me if I would like to be involved with the project, and he and I started exchanging, Facebook Messenger chats and everything. Actually, we would, that's how we communicated for a while before even, having a phone conversation. And right from the get-go, from the first message, I just knew there was something special about this guy. And so, long story short, I flew up to St. Louis. He explained that what he wanted, his method behind his madness on this was fly me up and us shoot the teaser trailer in preparation for the crowdfunding launch on March the 2nd. And I got up there. The shoot was flawless. Jake was amazing. He has an amazing crew. And kudos to Erin Feltz for her amazing special effects makeup and making me look all bruised and battered. She did a tremendous job on that. But yeah, so after we wrapped that day and over lunch, I think I said to him at some point in the conversation, I said, hey, I'm interested in coming on board as a producer. So we both thought about it, and, I'm on board as a producer as well. And I have 100% faith in this project and the fans that are out there that are going to love it. I mean, there's we know what the fans want. We know what they get excited about, and we're here to deliver.
Yeah. At this point, I believe rape revenge films are making a huge comeback, and not in a subtle way at all. It's really starting to explode again. I do remember when Tamara, when you first posted the photos from the set. That makeup was excellent. I do remember commenting that I was surprised you couldn't put on a little makeup and clean up for filming.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Thank you. Yeah.
No, it looks great. It's a powerful trailer. It definitely got people. Definitely has people talking, and there's quite a buzz around it. Jake, can you, not to put you on the spot, but could you maybe give us an idea of some of your influences in horror aside from just anthologies? Maybe some favorite directors or some favorite films.
Favorite movie? Well, I'm one of those people. The movies that I like, normal people don't tend to like. They tend to hate them. I'd say probably my favorite film is Rob Zombie's Halloween Part 2.
Oh, man.
And a lot of people don't like that movie, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that the portrayal of PTSD is just perfect. It's not, maybe it might not be the best film or have the best characters, with the dialogue and stuff like that. But I just, I'm one of those people, I'll take different things from different films and love them for that. So, Halloween Part 2. Obviously, I have to say Halloween Part 5.
Thank you.
I really like A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. I really like that movie. I Spit on Your Grave, the original. That's one of my favorites.
I could have guessed. I could have put $1 million on that.
Well, it's just so perfect. I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, it is a great film. It's good to hear, and it is interesting that some of the films on your list aren't exactly the most popular.
Right.
But I totally understand where you're coming from. Taking aspects from a film you like. You don't have to like the film as a whole. There can be imagery in it that you enjoy aside from the finished product as a whole. So let me, can you tell me, Jake, a little bit about some of your previous films? And I would like to start with, is it Krampus Carol?
Krampus Carol, yeah.
Yeah. Could you tell me a little bit about that film so that our listeners have a chance to check out your work right away?
Well, out of everything that I've done, aside from Savage Vengeance, because I think Savage Vengeance is going to be kind of the biggest step I've ever taken, the biggest leap I've ever taken. But from everything I've ever done prior, I think Krampus Carol is my favorite thing. It's the thing that I'm most proud of. I was talking about growing up with anthologies and kind of the TV movie vibes and feels. And that's what that film is based off of. When I was a little kid, my dad had told me different stories, different scary stories. And he had told me the story of the Christmas Carol and of the Telltale Heart. And being young, I kind of molded those two stories together. And so as I got older and I watched, the Christmas Carol, I was expecting this horror element that was never, ever there in the first place, And so it got to the point where I was, 26, 27, however old. And I was like, you know what, that would make a really good movie. This kind of melting pot story that had stuck with me all these years. I was like, let me go back and revisit that. And so I got Luc Bernier, who's a fantastic actor, and Ellen Udy, Donna Hamlin, and Donna Lee Heising. We all got together. We shot this movie. I mean, the rough cut is almost done, but from what I've seen, it's really, really good.
Oh, excellent. I'm sorry, was Brink Stevens in that one as well?
Oh, yes, she was.
Yeah, that's quite a name. Quite a name in the horror world for sure. So the Krampus Carol 2018, and you also have a film set to release 2019, The Possession of Mia Moss.
Yeah, Possession of Mia Moss, which Brink was also in that as well. My very first feature film that I did was a movie called The Haunting of Mia Moss, and that had Brink Stevens and Nicola Fiore. And, here I am, Tamara will tell you, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I don't necessarily know, right? I don't necessarily know all of the horror celebrities or anything like that. I don't really know of all of them. Because I do watch some odd movies, I'm not always on, I don't always watch the biggest movies, or know the biggest people. So Brink Stevens, when she came on board, I just thought she was an actress. I didn't know she was the Brink Stevens that she is. So we shot the entire movie. And afterwards, after she had went home, that's when I kind of looked her up and I went, wow, she's a big deal. She's a really, really big deal.
Yeah,
but
it might be for the better that you didn't know that.
Right. I wouldn't have been starstruck.
Yeah, that's probably for the better. So Tamara, your can you tell us a little bit about your role in Savage Vengeance?
I played the woman in chains, and there will be, Jake can actually tell you a little more right now than I can. We're still working on some collaboration on the character, but and I don't want to say too much, and I don't want to give it away, and I'm going to let Jake expand upon that. I think that's the best thing with this character.
Well, for Tamara, for that whole scene, like she said in the beginning, it was just intended to be for, the crowdfunding video, and we were going to use it for the movie, but it was just supposed to be this little, 1 or 2 minute long scene, just a cameo. And I knew I wanted to get someone who was really, really big, and who's bigger than Tamara Glynn, you know what I mean? So, we got her, and like she said, the shoot was really, really awesome. It was so easy to work together, and that little scene that we did turned into, I think it was 8 minutes and 40 seconds was the rough cut of the scene, right? And so that's intense, and we were going chunk, yeah. Right. We were going back and forth, and she's like, if you need me to do another scene, if you want to, extend the character a little bit, let's throw another scene in there. Let's do it. So right now we're thinking about, okay, well, what possibilities do we have as far as her bringing her on board even more, bringing her character on board even more? But I mean, kind of what she was saying, I don't want to give too much away. She's a kidnapping victim that tries to get away, and it may or it may not work out so well for her. I will say that.
Yeah.
Tamara, how did you handle the frigid temperature?
Oh my gosh, Ty, it was freezing. We had the most amazing location, and my little toes were numb for I don't think my toes were thawed out until after I'd taken probably 3 hot baths that Sunday night after we shot. So I was just truly grateful for Jake and his amazing team and their expertise, so we could get in there and get the work done and get warm. It was cold.
And here she is in these little cut-off shorts and
my little Daisy Dukes. Hey, we're also, we're styling in this film. We're bringing the Daisy Dukes back. Not that they've ever fully left, but yeah.
I wanted to thank you for putting the short shorts in. That was an excellent touch.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Whether for better or for worse, some of us red-blooded horror fans really, really, really appreciate that kind of attention to detail. So I don't think I'm wrong in assuming that this was a rape revenge film. Jake, do you have any, not to get too edgy here or anything, but did you have any qualms about making a film with that type of plot, considering the current atmosphere with Me Too movements, stuff like that? Do you find it empowering to women, or how do you look at that?
Well, I mean, if you look at the rape revenge genre in general, people have been asking that question since the very beginning. Is this empowering, or is it, degrading? But to me, you watch films for an emotional response to them. And what more emotion can you have to subject matter like rape, and then also like a survivor that's able to rise above that and be victorious?
Exactly.
Yes. It's funny, just to get a little off topic. We recently had Cult Classic Horror recently did an episode where we covered the Stepford Wives. And at the time when that movie came out, there was a huge backlash from the feminist movement, saying that this was an anti-feminist film. And when you watch it, it really comes across as a pro feminist film.
Right.
As time went on, and I think that's how people. Only time will tell, but I think that's how people will eventually feel about the rape revenge genre. That it's that it has its socially redeeming aspects, but as you said, good art, films, whatever it may be, whatever medium is intended to elicit a reaction, and. And from that trailer, I can see you're definitely going to get a few reactions without a doubt.
It's going to be intense. I mean, I will say that.
Yes. I actually asked, full disclosure, Tamara and I do speak off the air. I did ask her if that chain was indeed a prop or if she had to lug around.
And what'd she tell you? What was the answer?
She said it was a prop. I couldn't imagine that.
I was not. There should be a disclaimer on it. Tamara was not hurt during our filming process.
Just wait till you see the chainsaw. Then you'll be like, wait a minute.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's crazy. But, this is what it's about, Ty. And, for myself at this, phase in life, however you want to slice it, dice it, whatever, it's really cool to get out there. And it took me a while to get my head and fully just commit myself, to independent, because I grew up in the studio system, and going back and learning the independent side of it, whether it's from the business side or, just all of it, everything it encompasses. I mean, it's a lot different from studio work. And, at this phase, being able to go out there and work with, I love Jake's energy so much. I mean, Jake, I think, and my son are the same age, and, this is what it's about. I mean, it's so much fun cheering these guys and girls on, and, the collaborative process it's just beyond words. And, I'm truly honored. This is amazing.
Yes. I'm glad to see that there has become a major trend of reinvigorating or bringing back into the spotlight genre actors and actresses. Not only does it give a film credibility, because it does. I mean, in the end, if you see if you see a name like Tamara Glynn, or just to pull a few out of my head, like Linnea Quigley, I've seen in some...
Or Felissa Rose, or, any of it. And the cool thing about it is, thank God, we are so lucky for social media and to be out on the convention scene where, filmmakers can, contact us, direct and introduce themselves, and we can, jump on board, and it's awesome.
Yeah, for true fans, for diehard fans, there's nothing better than getting to see these actors and actresses again. And, I guess we have you and Jake to thank for keeping that trend alive. Jake, do you ever see yourself doing something out of the genre, or do you feel pretty secure within the horror world?
I don't think I've really given it that much thought. I mean, I don't watch comedies very often because I'm not happy with the way that I think mainstream movies portray comedy. I just don't find it funny. So it might be interesting to actually do a legitimate comedy, or maybe like a family movie. That might be cool, family drama. But until then, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the horror world and the horror genre. It's closer. It's more tight knit than any other film genre out there.
Yeah, we're all family.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Those of us that scream together and can talk about death and die on camera and write it, I mean, we've definitely got some deep darkness there, certainly in common with one another, and that's cool. I mean, that's very liberating. That's fun.
The horror community definitely has become a network of very supportive people. I mean, just spitballing here, but a mutual friend of ours, Richard Stringham, Tamara, I was watching. Yes. Yeah, he's a good friend. Right. Yeah. I was watching a random movie, and his name came up with like a producer's credit. So I messaged him. I'm like, "What are you doing? You're all over the place." And he said, well, he just likes to help out other horror filmmakers, and
that's awesome.
And I just thought that was the greatest example of what you're talking about. Is it is a tight knit community. It is, and the cool thing about Richard, he's from Arkansas as well. So he's an Arkansas counterpart of mine. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he is. He's a wonderful person, but it is. The only reason I brought it up is because it illustrates the point that the horror community is the best. I do agree. The horror, I mean, even the fun thing about the genre as a whole is even when you go out to conventions, I mean, and you have generations of families coming up to your table, that's what makes it cool. I mean, seriously, it's just, it's like I don't think in the genre, it's like you've never met a stranger, because it's like we're all just connected in this really awesome way. Absolutely, and that convention dynamic is amazing. I've been to enough cons, and I've seen non-horror celebrities shake a hand, take a picture, and then call for the next person in line. When you watch horror celebrities interact with the public, there's a lot more interaction, a lot more personable situations going on, and it's just great to see. Jake, have you ever done any conventions before, or film festivals?
I have not. I haven't.
Oh, you're going to have to get into it.
I know.
Oh, he's going to get into the cons and the festivals big time. Absolutely.
Well, I think Savage Vengeance, like I was kind of telling this to Tamara whenever we were shooting, kind of assembling the cast, I was looking for people who are really big into conventions. I wanted to really push Savage Vengeance for those horror fans in particular, not just horror fans in general, but the cult, the convention crowd. I really wanted to give them something that was awesome. So I think it'll be interesting to take this movie to conventions and film festivals and stuff like that.
Oh, so far it looks great. I think you'll do very well. It really is the world of independent horror. You have to get out there and sell it yourself. I mean, that just seems to be the way it's going right now, and cons and festivals are a great way to do that. Absolutely. Tamara, do you have any cons coming up? I am just now beginning to get my 2019 schedule. I do have some that will be firmed up by the end of February. Oh, okay. Well, we'll look forward to and I'll keep you guys posted on the announcements for those. And
because cons are so much fun. I mean, there's just, there's nothing like being able to get out and say hello to the fans and visit with them. Because there's nothing like it. I mean, I love it. They're like family.
Yes, there was a time when you didn't know you had fans, remember?
Oh, absolutely. Back when Justin Beam from the Halloween Movies Facebook page, when I bumped into him online, actually August 27th, 2012. I'll never forget it. But I bumped into him on Facebook, and I didn't know I had any fans. Are you kidding? And he's like, Tam, where have you been? I said, dude, I've been in Arkansas raising my son with my family. And he's like, you have fans? And I'm like, I don't have any fans. He's like, no, I promise you do. And I'm like, no, I don't have any fans. And lo and behold, had fans. So very grateful for them.
Mm-hmm. And you deserve it, because, it couldn't happen to a nicer person to become a famous genre star. I hope you don't take offense to me saying a genre star. I don't want to pigeonhole you, but...
I'm flattered. I mean, this is, like I said, this is what it's about, and everyone supporting and all of us loving on each other and working hard and giving the horror community what they want. I mean, this is what it's about.
Excellent. So... Jake, you said that the trailer that was released through Cult Classic Horror, now that's supposed to establish a crowdfunding campaign, is that correct?
Well, that's just the teaser trailer that we wanted to have you guys, have an exclusive with. Mm-hmm. When we actually launch the campaign, we'll have the full video, which, like I said, the rough cut was almost 9 minutes long. We're not going to have that entire thing. We're going to cut it down, make it more tense and just tighter all around. But yes, I don't remember your question.
No,
I just kind of went off topic.
No, that's okay. Do you have a website that we can go to for information on, or is it just through Facebook, on Savage Vengeance?
Right now it's just Facebook, and there's an IMDb page.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Have you considered Indiegogo?
I have. The thing about Indiegogo is I was just reading a bunch of articles about how they're pulling different horror films out depending on their subject matter. Mm-hmm. And and some of these people are raising money, and then all of a sudden their campaign gets pulled. So where does that money go? What do you tell the fans? So, I mean, I'm still looking into what exactly we should do, but I think Kickstarter is probably the way to go.
Oh, excellent. So we'll look for you on Kickstarter. Right. That's awful about the Indiegogo.
It is.
That's awful. That's another decision they're trying to make for you.
Yeah, and I thought the subject matter in this movie, it would be pulled in a second. There's no way they'd keep it up.
I can't imagine why. No, I mean, I find that a horrible thing that Indiegogo's doing. However, I do understand it, I guess, from a business aspect.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to, offend anyone or whatever. We're all too sensitive these days. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, I think that people also need to realize that, this goes back to, and I get so damn sick and tired of people blaming, that the bad things that happen in society today. Oh, it was because of a game. It was because of a movie. That's all. I mean, I'm not buying into that. I'm not.
Right. No, crazy.
It's entertainment. I mean, I was told I was going to hell when I was 18 years old because I came from a very small town in Arkansas, and all the good Christians who aren't supposed to judge, had me burning in hell for, number one, moving to California to pursue an acting career because I was living in Sin City, and then number two, oh my God, I did this Satan worshiping film. It's all bullshit. You know, it's entertainment. People take it for what it is. If you like it, great. If you don't, there's plenty of other movies out there for you to watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm calling an ace and a spade and a spade on this because it's, you know, and just because, I mean, like I grew up in Arkansas and it's very much the Bible Belt here. I mean, you know, Bill and I co-founded the Hot Springs International Horror Film Festival together, and it's all about, you know, I mean, horror doesn't appeal to everyone. And like I said, just like church doesn't appeal to everyone. And, you know, if you like it, if you love it, fantastic. If you don't, you know, I'm not going to take offense to it. But I mean, and that's where I think it's so cool with us in the genre, how we all connect because we are so comfortable in our own skin, our own faith, may it be, because that's personal to begin with. And that's just my attitude on it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking to your point, I miss the days when the Catholic Church would denounce films, because now that they've sort of abandoned that practice, I don't know what to watch anymore. I mean, without them telling me not to watch it, I don't.
Exactly. Right.
Awful. Just an awful scenario. Yeah, horror is not a crime. Let's just put it that way. It's like you said, it's entertainment.
It's not. It's entertainment. It is. And, you know, I was watching the Jeffrey Dahmer tapes the other day on Netflix. And I mean, my cousin was murdered back in the early 90s. And I've always been very intrigued by real life crime, I guess, because, you know, my family it was a victim of, you know, my cousin's shooting and everything. And I was watching the Dahmer tapes and someone commented, oh, you shouldn't be watching and, you know, glamorizing and glorifying serial killers. And I let that one go because just to get into the psychology part, the mindset of, and just to learn someone's backstory. I mean, again, it's all entertainment, you know, well, and there is such an appetite out there for darkness and real life crime, and that's why there's so many, I mean, shows on, you know, Netflix now, and I mean there's a huge demographic for it. We love it.
I mean, Absolutely. It's a good outlet as well. Kind of, I don't remember which one of you said that, you know, we're all in the horror world kind of dark-minded, but it's a good outlet to sit there and watch the Dahmer tapes and Forensic Files and all that.
Right. And all of this started, you know, well, yeah, and all this started back in the 80s with journalism TV, with journalism primetime TV, with your Datelines and your 2020s and your 48 hours mystery, you know, your 48 hours. So this has been around for a long time, and you know, it is what it is, and everyone just needs to realize that we're entertainers and we love to be creative on the screen, and we like to collaborate and do a lot of sick, fun stuff, I guess. Yeah. Right, Jake? Right, Jake?
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, how much more, I mean, that's the only way, I mean, I'm just being totally honest here because that's, in a nutshell, that's what it comes down to, you know?
I mean, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, and they do say that, you know, horror is very successful in time periods where there's a lot of unrest in society.
And maybe it's because we're so depressed in our own lives that we can watch something and go, oh, I mean, the clouds lift and, man, it could always be worse, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, however you can identify with it, but it always, I mean, I can be stressed out or upset or depressed or something, and I can watch a horror movie or turn on an episode of like 48 Hours Mystery, and I tell you what, it perks me right up. I'm not kidding, but it does. I mean, there's just something about it. It's this mindset that we have. That's why, I mean, I love it. I wouldn't trade the horror genre for anything in this world.
No, it's I compared horror once to like a carnival ride. It's just fun to be scared, and it gets your blood pumping. There's definitely a release of adrenaline, however small. And speaking to 80s horror in particular, boy, those movies were just fun. I mean, Halloween 5, and I'll just bring that up because, you're on the episode, Tamara, but that's just a fun movie. There's not, it's not a thinking man's film, but not every movie has to be that.
Exactly.
No, it doesn't.
It's good entertainment. Very good
It
entertainment.
is. It's all entertainment. It's just a bunch of creative people getting together and just having a lot of fun. And sometimes you're fortunate enough to be paid for it, and sometimes you're not, But, like I said, it is what it is. And that's the great thing about, technology today, that, consumer pricing on these cameras and everything, where basically you can shoot up any kind of movie on your phone now, and you can do anything and just get out there and have fun and get your friends curious about what else you can do, and just keep the chain of excitement rolling along. I mean, seriously.
That's an excellent point. The ease of making a film, the fact that you don't have to purchase film anymore. It's all digital. It's,
Right. And you don't have to have the dog and pony show anymore with the 1 ton, the 2 ton, the camera truck, the moho, your grip trucks. You just pull up in your Prius, and you get out and you pull your camera out of your pocket, and there you go.
Yeah. And that's definitely that's definitely given access to people that otherwise wouldn't have been able to make the films, which wasn't a great thing.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you were involved in the studio system, so you probably know better than Jake and I that a lot of people probably didn't get the opportunities that they should have just because they weren't a name. They weren't.
Right. I mean, because it's the studio side of this, it's an entirely different entity, and it's taken me a while to learn the ins and outs, or what little I've learned, because it's forever evolving on a daily basis. There's just, and guerrilla filmmaking, how cool is that? Guerrilla style. I mean, but it's given filmmakers, these young filmmakers like Jake and Tristan Clay, and my God, I could name 100 of them right now. These guys that, they got a lot of talent, and they're going to go places, and my God, what a beautiful way for their work to be seen. And like I said, through the not that Facebook is a viable deliverable format, but to get out there and get some positive feedback, from your friends, and get some attaboy pats on the back. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, it's a much more encouraging world where
absolutely.
And the speed of the information age allows that. You can film something and have it out. Well, I mean, the teaser trailer. Yeah. Perfect example of that.
Yep.
Jake, I really do appreciate you throwing that together for us. That was an excellent trailer, and it seemed like it gained some traction.
I appreciate you guys putting it up there.
We were happy to do it. The fans were really excited. In fact, I have to give a shout out to a CCH fan, Lance Wagner, because
Lance, hi Lance, we love you.
I don't think anyone was more enthused than he. He was just ecstatic, and that's great.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here. Fans like Lance Wagner, I mean, they're all great, but the energy he projects is just, and it's so genuine. And when Lance says, "Oh man, I'm excited about this. Oh man, I'm pumped," you know what? Lance Wagner, he freaking means that.
Right.
Yeah, and he's speaking for a bigger group than just himself,
Yes, absolutely. I mean, yes. And it's just, my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what it's about, you guys.
Yeah, the instant feedback is amazing. I mean, I wouldn't want it to direct somebody's approach to a film. I still want them to make the film that they set out to make, but it is nice to have that feedback on the front end or as you're going along, because I'm not involved with filmmaking. I never have been. The closest I've been in the entertainment world is stage production, and I do realize that prior to social media, there wasn't that instant feedback. Nobody saw it. Nobody saw any of it. Maybe in a variety article or something of that nature. There was no behind the scene, and fans appreciate it. It gives them a sense of involvement.
It does, and it's so exciting because, I mean, if you're busy and fans are sending you 100, messages a day on Facebook or Instagram, I mean, it gets a little like, because you do genuinely want to answer everyone. But I tell you what, it's just fun hearing from, and I hear a lot from moms like my age that are fans that have, kids, my son's age in their early 20s. And it's great, the lives that we touch. And like I said, we're all in this together. We live in a little bit more stressful times now. And, and with that being said, we just all need to have fun and love and just enjoy each other.
Yeah. Jake, do you want to, is Unreality LLC, is that your company?
Yes, it is.
You want to give that a little plug? Do you have a website for your production company?
I think that I need to be working on that a little bit more. I'm a little embarrassed at how, I've kind of not been working on that lately, but I know I have a Facebook for it. I think it's just facebook.com/Unreality LLC, I believe.
Excellent.
But on Facebook, I mean, if you want to follow my films and me and stuff like that, on Facebook, I have a Jake Zelch writer-director page, and I try and post a bunch of stuff on there.
Excellent. Fans, I'm sure, will be looking around for that stuff, the social media accounts. Tamara Glynn. It is really nice to talk to you. It is really nice to talk to you. We don't speak nearly enough. But I wanted to thank you for everything you do for Cult Classic Horror and for myself. You bring a lot of filmmakers my way. You introduced me to a lot of people, and I really appreciate it.
Well, a lot of people consider me their big sister, and since I don't have any siblings, there's so many of you that I would damn near give you guys, all of you, the shirt off my back. I'm not kidding. So I'm proud of you. I love you guys dearly, and just amazing times. And I'm excited for you to get to interview Jake and follow us along our journey with Savage Vengeance. And a huge shout out to Donald Farmer and Camille Keaton and our entire cast and crew. I mean, this is fun.
Absolutely. And I will have the listeners know that Tamara did indeed shave her legs for this interview. So
I washed my hair too.
Oh, she washed her hair.
I did. I washed my hair. Yeah.
It is appreciated. I mean, this may be audio only, but I'm glad to know that you're being hygienic.
Anything for you, Ty. I think the world of you guys. I do.
Excellent. Jake, I want to thank you as well for being on the show, and we're all looking forward to Savage Vengeance and whatever you have coming down the line, including the possession of Mia Moss. And is the Krampus Carol out yet?
The Krampus Carol is almost done. I've been working because I'm not editing that film. I have someone else editing it. So he's sending me scenes and I'm improving them or critiquing them a little bit, but it's almost done.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Off air, we're going to have to talk. I know some distribution people that would probably want to talk to you.
That would be really awesome.
Just give you their contact there. Not that I'm any kind of agent or anything, but if nothing else, just give you their information. All right. Well, thank you both again for being on the show. So Savage Vengeance is currently in early production phase. So we'll look forward to it. So thank you guys again for being on the show.
Hey, Ty, seriously, thank you again. Jake, I just want to say it for the world to hear it. I mean, I'm smiling from ear to ear, and I just thank you so much for the amazing opportunity. And I am so excited about Savage Vengeance, Jake. I'm so excited about your next projects, and I myself am just so blessed for this opportunity.
Well, I'm honored to have you on board, and loved meeting and working with you so much.
Well, our cast is sensational. Our crew, this is going to be awesome. Thanks, Ty.
Oh, you're very welcome. Check out the Cult Classic Horror Show every Wednesday at midnight at cultclassichorror.com or wherever you find great podcasts. Also, if you'd like to be involved in the production of Cult Classic Horror, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/cultclassichorror. We'll see you next time.
Don't you blame the movies! Movies don't create psychos! Movies make psychos more creative!
Oh, yes. There will be blood.